Welcome to Self-Critic Reviews, and today Self-Critic is gonna review Black Mirror Season 5, Episode 1. Before starting the actual review, I wanna mention that Black Mirror, as of today, is my favorite TV show of all time, largely because of how rich and memorable nearly every single episode is. So as usual, it will be very difficult to be unbiased, so I won't even try. Also, you should know that there will be heavy spoilers in this video, so I would recommend watching the episode first, unless you really don't care about that stuff. Let me get this out of the way right away. I didn't like the episode all that much. But that's not to say that I don't have thoughts on it or that it doesn't have any redeeming qualities. This episode, like a lot of last season or even season 3, did not feel like Black Mirror. But again, that's probably because Black Mirror really expanded its horizons too far for me to see, and nothing feels like Black Mirror anymore. When I first started watching this episode, I was wondering what the catch was gonna be, what kind of technology Black Mirror would elaborate upon. First, two friends, Daniel and Carl, started playing a Street Fighter type game called Striking Vipers, and I thought that most definitely that's what the episode was gonna be about. But what exactly? I saw that one of the guys picked a female character and always defeated the male character, so I thought that maybe this had something to do with that. But it didn't. Then, after the time skip, the series showed hints of Daniel and Theo not being 100% happy with their relationship. Case in point, when Daniel looked at an ass of another guest, and when Theo behaved a bit awkward in front of Daniel's old friend, Carl. At first I even thought that the series was gonna make Theo cheat on her husband with Carl, and it didn't happen, so that was an interesting red herring. Then finally, the virtual reality version of the 11-year-old game was introduced and everything became clear when they started playing the game. Honestly, I should have seen it coming, but I didn't. And I had no idea what to make of two grown men having virtual sex as in-game male and female characters. Upon the progression of the episode, it became clear that they wanted to raise a couple of questions. The first question, would this type of activity be considered cheating? And the second question, would this be the same thing as coming out of the closet? As for cheating, I think it is, despite Carl denying it. And even if it isn't, the fact still remains that it directly put a strain on Daniel and Theo's relationship. And at the end of the episode, the series even implied that virtual sex is cheating, because the two of them, the husband and wife, made an equivalent exchange where Daniel would continue his Striking Vipers fetish with Carl, and Theo would have a one-night stand for one day, both of them. As for the second question, the episode's official answer, which I agree with, was that this is just a fetish and has nothing to do with sexual orientation, which was evidenced by the kissing scene in the parking lot in the rain. I thought the fact that they decided to utilize rain in the scene for dramatic purposes was amusing but not incorrect. So these thoughts the series made me have are all the things that I liked about the episode. What I, however, thought wasn't as good was the fact that the episode decided to explicitly answer the questions that I posed earlier. In fact, maybe not even both questions, but just one, the cheating thing. The sexual orientation question getting answered may even be a good idea, to be honest. And don't get me wrong, I have no idea how to even approach the problem of creating a rock-solid ambiguity, but I know and understand that it's quite an enormous task that would have required to seamlessly insert the other side of the coin and change the ending, and maybe even not give the conclusion to some of the characters, especially Theo. The episode chose the easier way out, but loose ends were tied up, especially when Carl mentioned that he tried doing the same thing with other players and CPU, which initially was my question as to why he didn't. What I thought was a slight inconsistency though, was when Carl talked about his experience with a guy from the Netherlands and mentioned getting over the Dutch accent, which I thought was weird because in the game that we saw, the voices and accents were already changed to those of the player characters automatically. So what was that about? I'm probably misunderstanding something very simple, but I decided not to rewatch the episode in search of an answer. And speaking of the game, I thought that the actress who played Roxette did pretty well to encapsulate Carl's personality in real life. I could totally see him speaking the exact same words in the exact same manner in his voice. And I'm not sure I could say the same thing about Lance's actor. But overall, the acting was strong in this episode by all leads, so there's not much to comment there. So again, even though it didn't seem like a review of a person who didn't enjoy the episode a whole lot, I did think it was a strange episode, but not without strong qualities. Thanks for watching.